Hey Facebook. Hey everybody. Good evening. How are y'all doing tonight? I hope everybody is doing well. Come on in. Glad to see you all here. Say hello when you come in and share. Let's share out the broadcast and bring others to the conversation. Am I sitting right? Hey everyone. Hey, say hi when you come in. So tonight, I'm going to talk about 3 tips to get you focused and meeting your goals. So last night was a lot of fun and we had a really good time. Thank you for jumping in. Say hi so I can see who's here. And, there's no time to waste. So I wanted to come back on tonight and definitely keep the conversation going with these 3 quick tips. So come on in, say hi. And we're going to share these 3 tips. If you have tips, please put them into the chat so that we can share out how we can help others to stay focused on their goals. I'm going to share this out to my personal development page as well. And let's see. I came up with a nifty sharing mechanism. I'm using my other phone. So that's how I'm going to share this out. So last night we started with how are we going to position ourselves before the end of the year, going into a new year. And we talked about reflecting on this particular year and what happened this year so that we can use what happened this year to focus on what do we want to repeat and what do we want to get rid of. So that's where we were yesterday. And so for today, we want to talk about how to make that plan and what would that look like. So come on in, share this out. If you're here, say hello. Let me see if the comments are actually working. Go ahead and send up some hearts and some thumbs up. Let me know that you're here. I hope you've been having an excellent day. I'm off all this week, so, I'm loving it and I'm getting a lot of rest. Tonight, I think I'm going to go join a friend at a salsa dancing place. So I will be, hello, come on in, say hi, and share this out. We're going to talk about 3 tips. I'm going to give 3 tips. Now, if anybody wants to jump on, you can jump on. So just let me know that you want to jump on. We're talking about 3 particular tips that are going to help us to focus in on our goals. And let me get started with mine, okay? All right, so yesterday we talked about reflecting on what happened this year, and deciding whether or not what happened this year we want to repeat it, whether we want to review it and then, get rid of it. What happened this year, okay? That was the first thing we did yesterday, was talk about what is going on this year. So if you just started your entrepreneurial goals or your entrepreneurial journey this year, I pretty much started a year ago. So it's been a solid year for me. Say hi when you come on. I see some familiar faces. Hey everybody, and we're at double digits, so definitely send up some hearts and some thumbs up. Thank you so much for coming in. So, we talked about what happened this year and how we felt about it, whether it was our first year. I know I got into a lot of different programs I shouldn't have been in, but I've learned a lot, so I have a wealth of information. And I have other information from other businesses I've done before. So, what does it look like going forward? Sometimes we have so much information, we are stagnant because we don't know what to do with everything that we've learned, right? So these 3 tips are going to really solidify like how to keep it super simple, how to keep your goals super simple. Okay. Now I'm a mom, so I know there are a lot of moms on here. I have a lot of age mates on here, and I have schoolmates on here that I went to school with, college, and also business contacts, affiliates, and all that on here. So we're all on here, and we have people in our lives who are trying to have a better life, a better, situation for their kids, themselves, and prospects for the future. I know for myself, I don't want to be in the classroom all the rest of my life. I want to have a business. I want to teach online. That's my goal. So how do you keep it super, super simple? Okay. So yesterday, after we talked about reflecting, the next piece that we talked about is consistency. So I'm going to start with that tonight. Type in the chat if you have an issue with being consistent, like setting a goal and then not following through. Now, why do we not follow through? We don't follow through because of distractions. Okay, let's be super honest and simple. We don't follow through because of distractions. So what I want to give you as tip number 1 is to follow your plan. If you make a plan for a goal, then you need to follow that plan. Now, why am I saying this? Because we know that the number 1 thing that gets us off of our goals are distractions, right? And as women, yes, Helen, yeah, me too. As women, we put everybody else in front of us, our children, our community, our coworkers, every little situation that happens. Somebody's smoke alarm went off and I immediately went out to help them and I was doing something else. Like, we're just helpers, right? So we have to focus on our plan. Now, we're going to go into it a little bit more. But number 1 is follow your plan. How do you do that? First of all, write it down. I script. Who likes to journal? Type in if you like to journal. I like to journal, okay? I have a lot of different journals and pads and pieces of paper. I script on everything. So you see 2019? Is this backwards? I script on everything. I script, and then I take it to a calendar, such as this, okay? Yes, follow your plan. Thank you for typing in, Trina. I really appreciate it. Thank you for typing notes for us. Number 1, follow your plan. If you saw fit to make a goal for yourself, you need to stick it somewhere in a journal, in a frame. You can frame it, a picture frame, and put it in your bathroom, somewhere you're going to see that goal. Now, how do you write your goals? One of my mentors likes to say, I'm so happy and grateful that I have, you can say the amount you have in your bank account, $10,000 a month. You can say that you have 20 new customers a month coming into your business, but you're so happy and grateful, and that sparks that urge to say something very honest. So when you say, I'm so happy and grateful, it really helps you to say something that you're really feeling. So if you haven't written your goals down, that's one way that you can write it down. You can say just a blank statement, I have 20 customers, or I'm so happy and grateful I have 20 customers, because that always puts gratitude into it. So go ahead and start by number 1, writing down your goals and I'm sorry, I'm trying to share this and following your plan. And how do you follow your plan? You need to keep it in front of you. So either you keep it in a frame, in a journal, in a notebook, in a calendar, somehow, some way, you have to keep that plan front and center so that you're seeing it every single day. Okay, so that's number 1. Write down your goals, yes, and keep them in front of you. Keep them either on a wall or in a picture frame, in a calendar, like I showed you, like this. Okay, now let's talk about distractions really quickly. When you are going after a goal and you have distractions, you have to choose. You have to choose. Are you going to go after the goal, or are you going to go after the distractions? So this is still part of number 1. Are you going to go after the goals, or are you going to go after the distractions? And if you haven't shared the broadcast, please share the broadcast, because I'm going to give you some tips that are going to help you, not just now for November, December, but actually cross you over into the new year and help you to stretch right now, today. I'm going to help you stretch right now, today. I'm a school teacher. I'm a mom. I don't have time to wait. You know, we need to do long range. We need to do short term. We need to do day to day. That's how I operate. Why? Because anything can happen. You know, you always need extra time, extra hands, extra opportunities to get things done. That's just how life is. So in order to stay, you know, prepared, you have to make those long range plans. So we're going to do that. So what do you do when you make those plans? You either focus on the distractions or you focus on your plan. So let me know in the chat. Are you more focused on distractions when you write a goal, or are you focused on the plan? All right. So I know I want you to be honest. I can also fall into that camp where I am falling for distractions. So we're not, you know, we're not divas here. Nobody's a diva. We know that that's what happens. Okay. And if you answered the call yesterday, if you want to be in my Women Life and Business Coaching group, where we hold each other's hands and we show, you know, we help each other with accountability for the goals that we set for ourselves, let me know, say me in the chat, or go to Women Life and Business Coaching, and it's my group, and just, you know, I'll put the link later. All right, so do we understand tip number 1? Follow your goals. Okay, tip number 2 that I'm going to give you today, is activity. Activity. Type in the chat, activity. Thank you, Trina, for being the scribe. Activity. What do I mean by activity? Once you set your goal, all right? So here's my calendar. Once you set your goal, you have to write out exactly what it is that you're going to be up to. What is it that you're actually going to be up to? Here's my calendar. This is from 2017, okay? There's plenty of writing here. What are you going to be up to? You have to write it in a calendar. You have to write it in some type of scheduling app. There are plenty of digital apps. There are plenty of calendars. I love to write. I love to have a physical calendar that I can look at, that I can write in. Now, what is the trick with the calendar? Okay. So I'm going to give you some free game here. Okay. Another one of my mentors showed us this, where you block out. So if you're a teacher, you know you have to do block scheduling, right? So here is an example where you take your calendar and you use a highlighter and you block out, like, is today, our Monday's going to be your business night or your family night. So you block that out for the month. The next day, you know, is it going to be your business night or family night? Wednesday, usually that's like church or Bible study. So that's marked out. So one way to stay consistent with your goals is to block out your time. So when you plan to make a plan and then you stick to the plan, you're far more likely going to, you know, work that plan out. Now, we know that we have distractions. That's how we started this conversation. But you can plan your way and then execute along the way to seeing your goals, you know, to fruition, right? Block out time. Exactly. Thank you, Trina, for scribing for us. All right. So, that's number 1. And number 2, what do you think about those tips, you guys? What do you think about those tips? I see we have a few people on. What do you think about those tips? Are those helpful to you? Number 1 is stick to the plan. All right. Now, I know that that's super hard, because if you have a goal, it's very difficult to tell, you know, your family and different people who are not even like supportive to you. It's hard to tell them your goals. So who do you tell your goals to? Type in the chat, if you were on yesterday's broadcast, who would Dominique tell you to tell your goals to? Who would she tell you to tell your goals to? Type it in the chat. Okay, if you typed in community, you are, did anybody get that right? you would tell your goals to your community members. And what do I mean by that? Okay. What do I mean by that is you want to be in groups. Thank you for sharing. You would want to be in groups where they are also going for goals. You can be in a mom's group. You can be in a teacher's group. You can be in an entrepreneur group. Any group where they are actually making goals and they want to do something more. Okay. I know that it's so easy for me to lose sight of my goals, and even if I have it written down, even if I'm using a planner or a calendar, and it's so easy for me to,